there's again, that's what I thought, there's not that many of you. So in the next 7 minutes, I'm gonna try to change that. So I know what you're thinking. As I stand here in my riding clothes, you're probably getting flashbacks to the weird horse girls that you went to school with that would run around on all fours and jump over stuff and bite you or whatever. But I promise you, I'm not one of those horse girls. Mainly because I started riding only when I was 15, so most people were past that stage by then. So yeah, I've been riding for about 5 years. I'm on the Cal Poly equestrian team now too. So yeah, I'll just be giving a general overview. Sorry, my voice. On the equipment you need, the horse events, and also some of the benefits of riding. So the role of horses in our society has evolved as they first become domesticated until now. I read this article from this one historian named Daniel Roche, and he kind of described the transformation with 3 words: service, pleasure, and power. So we mainly first use horses as a service to us, in farming, pulling carts, transportation, that kind of stuff. And then we kind of switch over to power. We use them a lot in war and fighting to get a higher ground and just more of an extension of our fighting tools. And now where we're at is mainly pleasure, and people just ride for the sport and the exhilaration of it. Horse riding itself is divided into 2 different styles. One of them is English riding, and the other is Western riding. So first I'll be talking about the tack that the horses wear, so it's basically just the equipment that you need to ride. And I'll start with English because that's the one that I ride. As said by a horse sports massage therapist named Leslie Bress, she claims that the tack is vital to the way the horses move, and it must be tailored to the individual. So you can't just throw a random saddle on the horse and just get on and ride. So this is a picture of some of the English tack. So you can see that we have the saddle up there, and stirrups and stuff. That's where you put your feet in. And then we also have both of those 2, the white thing and the blue pad. They're both called saddle pads. So that's just for protection and padding for the horse. And then the strap around his stomach is called the girth, and that just keeps it in place and stuff. The martingale is kind of the thing on its front chest and stuff. It kind of helps hold the horse's head in form and makes them use their back muscles and stuff. And then also has the boots and stuff, which are helpful for jumping, so they don't knock on the poles and stuff. And the bridle, which is just the headpiece and the bit and stuff like that. So yeah, all of this stuff is necessary for you to stay on the horse well when you're doing jumping and just riding in general. And also we try to make it as minimal tack as you need to ride, so you're not impeding the horse's natural movement. So yeah, also I'm modeling some of my riding clothes right now, so I'll walk you through those. The main purpose for your riding clothes is for safety and function, but also when you do showing and stuff, it's based on looks too. So I have these tall boots. They have a heel in the back right here, so your foot doesn't slide through the stirrups. There's a trainer in my area who was not wearing heeled boots, and her foot got stuck in it, and then her horse freaked out, and she was basically dragged, her foot dangling in this stirrup, being dragged by this horse, and she died. She hit her head and got a bad injury. So it's very important to wear heeled boots. And then these are called breeches. We have these grippy patches here, which help stay on the saddle. We also have just a random riding shirt, and I didn't bring it, but I have helmet and gloves too. Also based on the economic aspect of horses, I bought all of this stuff myself, and actually a lot of it on sale, most of it, but it comes to over $1,000 still. So you have to buy these stuff so you can stay safe, but it's also a huge economic thing to ride horses. So here's a picture of some of the Western riding tack. So I'm sure you can recognize a lot of the same things. We still have saddle, saddle pad, the girth thing holding it, a headpiece, and kind of boot things, which are called polos. But one of the main differences you'll notice in Western is the saddle is a lot different. It's a lot bigger and sturdier, and also has the horn at the front, which is used balance sometimes, and also to like hold things off of it. Like you can carry a bag or something by like dangling across that. So like if you ever go on like a trail ride or something on vacation, you'll probably be in a Western saddle, just because they're also more comfortable to sit in. So some of the things that these riders wear is like jeans, a shirt, cowboy boots, and a hat. And this one horsewoman from South Africa, I read an article by her, and she also pointed out that Western riding can be a lot more colorful. Like they tend to have like bedazzlements and like jewelry and more like glittery kind of clothes compared to English riders. So within English riding, there are 3 different disciplines that are the 3 big main ones. So it's dressage, jumping, and eventing. So dressage is this picture on the right, the bottom one. That's basically, people call it like horse dancing. It's known to be like the fancy one. And basically, it's just very precise movements. It's very hard to do, and it's like a really good workout too. I'm really bad at it. But it is very interesting and really pretty to see the way the horses move at the upper levels and stuff. During dressage, they like sync up their movements to like music and stuff. It's really cool. And I also read a study about it where they like attached like sensors to the riders and like measured the exact like wave movements and like angle differences between professional dressage riders and beginner riders, because like even the slightest little angle that you change your body can like affect how the horse moves and how well you place in these competitions. The next one is jumping, which is the upper right one. So this is just like poles in a stadium that you're jumping over, and they're being judged for different things like the pace that you have, like your striding and stuff, your position, and also if you get like a clear round, like not knocking any poles or anything. And then the last one is eventing up there. Eventing is comprised of 3 different phases: dressage, that one, jumping, and then also cross country, which is the picture that I put. So it's like all 3 of these combined, they're called like 3-day events, so it usually takes 3 days for you to do all the eventing show. So yeah, cross country is my favorite one because you get to like gallop over logs and like go through water and jump over ditches and stuff. So it's the most fun and exciting one, and eventing is the discipline that I do. Although it is the most dangerous one because it's like solid obstacles that like won't fall when you hit them. So yeah, basically, moving on from that is I'm just gonna talk about some of like the statistics behind like horse riding injuries and stuff. So riding in general is just like very precise. Like if you mess up your strides or your position, it will affect both you and your horse's balance and just set you up for failure. Not to mention horses are like huge, unpredictable, like flighty animals, so that also has a factor. This one time I was riding this horse named Co, and he was like an ex-race horse and like a baby horse too, so he was kind of just not as well trained, I guess. But I was riding him in the arena like normal, and then out of nowhere, like usually you can tell like when the horse is like about to spook, like they'll put their ears back or get all fidgety or anything. But he didn't show any signs, so I was just like trotting around normally, and then all of a sudden he like just spooked at something, I don't know what. And my trainer and my friend were watching me ride, and they said that he jumped like 4 feet, like vertically, like all 4 feet, like left the ground, and then like in the air he also did like a buck kick, and then I like kind of stayed on for a little bit, and then I was just sent flying, and I flew like 6 feet onto the ground and like slammed my head and got knocked out, and that was my 3rd horse-related concussion. So it's not something to take lightly. Like even just the smallest thing, like I was just taking a lesson. Like I had my trainer and everything, but they like can't control what the horse does. So yeah, basically that's the thing or whatever. I was reading this journal by a neurological focus journal, and it said a statistic that horse riding accounts for like 45% of traumatic brain injuries, and this is also with like wearing a helmet and stuff. But honestly, I think it's worth it for like the excitement and the companionship of a horse and for the exercise. Then moving on to the exercise aspect, many people think that the horse is the one that does all the work. And while yes, the horse does do a lot of work, I thought this too before I started riding, but the rider also does an insane amount of work to stay on the horse and get through all of the rounds. So one analogy that I came across was a wobble board. You don't think that standing on it will be that hard because it's just a board on the ground and just wobbles a little bit. But once you're actually on it, you realize you have to activate a ton of different muscles you don't usually use just to be able to stay on it. So horse riding is like that, plus the mental aspect of steering your horse, predicting when it's gonna freak out, or getting it to the right places at the right time and stuff like this. And riding for 1 hour can burn 400 calories and get your heart rate up to 180. So it's a pretty good workout. In conclusion, I think the benefits of riding outweigh most of the injury and cost aspects of it, and this is why I continue to work hard to keep being able to ride and take lessons and stuff. There's so many different avenues you can take in horse riding and do so many different disciplines and styles and events, whatever suits you and what you want to do most. So yeah, I hope you have more understanding and appreciation for the sport. So thank you for listening.
Hannah, how did that go?
I think it was okay. It was a longer speech.